Hey, what's going on, good people? It's Gardner Douglas, your Oyster Ninja. I'm here with a celebrity, the one and only, hers truly, Miss Black Foodie.
Thanks for
Miss,
having me.
hold on, I got a whole
Oh,
intro for you.
sorry.
I got a whole.
Okay, go
No, no,
ahead.
you don't spoil the surprise now. You don't spoiled it, but it's all good. It's all good. So, Miss Eden, right? Is it Eden or Eden?
Yeah,
Because I've been watching a lot of videos and I heard like people say Eden. I heard people say Eden. I think I heard you say Eden.
yeah, I confuse myself. It's both. So because you're in the DMV, you could say Eden because you probably around enough Ethiopians, so you
Okay.
know their names. But Eden it's the same word. It's just the Ethiopian pronunciation.
No, it's not the same word. It sounds different.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. I'm sorry, good people. So we got Miss Eden here of the Eden, the foodie, Black
Mhm.
Foodie, owner, creator of Black Foodie. That's crazy. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you.
So you are the founder of Black Foodie. It spots like the best of, and I got this from your profile, by the way, if it sounds familiar, uh, which spotlights the best of African, Caribbean, and Southern cuisine. Is that correct, ma'am?
It's true. You got such a radio voice. Like I'm like, this is
That's
good.
that's
Yeah.
what I do. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So, how in the world did you come up with Black Foodie? Like, what made you take the leap, first of all? Because a lot of people have great ideas, and they want to do these blogs and Instagrams and Facebook pages, and but they have a few good posts, and then they kind of fall off. Like, what was your fire, your burn that made you stick with it and become, this Black Foodie is like large, is huge.
Thank you. A couple of reasons. So there's like two big reasons why I stuck with it and what inspired me to like keep pushing even when things got tough. And the first is I grew up in a family of foodies, people who love African food, who love, the hospitality industry. My family had an Ethiopian restaurant in my hometown in Canada back in the 90s. So as a kid, I grew up watching them serve and dry, watch my grandma package it and sell it. And like everybody in the family was involved in the business. I was too young. I was just like looking on, but like I watched
Right.
them, feed people and create like these really like happy moments for others. And then as a young adult, I moved to Toronto and I went out to celebrate my birthday and I just got met with some really racist white folks. And
Oh no.
yeah, and so my birthday was trash and it was, it was really it really stuck with me and I was super upset. I was very angry at the fact that we could go dress up, feel like we're going to have a great night out and then feel like we didn't belong or that, made to look like we're going to steal or we're not good customers. Like just all the different stereotypes that come with being Black. And that's exactly what happened with me. And it really frustrated me and I couldn't let it go. I was like, this isn't fair. And when I wrote about it on my personal Facebook, so many people reached out to me and told me similar encounters that they had had. And the saddest part was people were reaching out to me and giving me strategies like, oh, you got to make sure you dress really nice when you go to like a white restaurant, or you got to make sure you put your purse on the table and your wallet so they know you're going to pay, or like all these really sad things to make people think you're good enough, to be there. And I wasn't about that life. And it pissed me off that I was giving people money who did not care about us. And that I didn't even go to restaurants like the ones that my family owned. I didn't go to Black owned restaurants. I didn't know of many. Or I thought they were, just for takeout. Like I had, internalized some of these beliefs and
Right,
I wanted
right.
to change that. Yeah. So that's how Black Foodie started.
That's that's a sad story for one. Um,
Yeah.
but of course something great came out of it. So I guess we can look, at that positive. Um, I'm gonna veer off right now, but like since you've blown up and you've like got 1 million followers and
I
or is it
wish, guys.
100 million? I don't know if it's up to 100 million yet. Um, have you gone back to that restaurant and say, "Hey, look what you did. Thank you."
Nobody ever asked me that in my life. That's so funny. No, I never went back. It closed down.
Yeah, I know
Actually,
why. No, it's just joking.
I don't know if it was related to this, but you know what's so funny? I actually did the opposite. I actually completely avoided that neighborhood for like 2, 3 years. Like that's how deep it was for me. Like it upset me at my core. Like I didn't ever want to go back to a neighborhood where I was gonna be treated like that. So no, I didn't actually. Yeah.
So before this restaurant, like, had you had any other encounters that kind of like got the pot like starting to boil a little bit, or was it just this one, just one hit, just took you over the top?
um, you know what's funny? Like I lived in Michigan for a couple of years. I went to college there first, and yeah, like it wasn't like racism was something new to me. I definitely had experienced it. It was actually the reason why I I transferred out. I moved away from Michigan to another university in Canada, and so no, I think I was always ready to like speak up when I felt like there was something wrong. I studied sociology. I was interested in like fighting,
Mm-hmm.
injustice, but I never applied that lens to food. I never thought about the fact that I was so ashamed of packing African food for lunch. Like I didn't think about like why do I feel like this? Why am I ashamed of my own food? Like I wasn't actually critically thinking about these things. It's a good thing this woke me up to it.
So, I mean, I'm just gonna take a little deep question here, but like, where do you think that comes from? Like, we're ashamed to represent who we are, be who we are, and then just like the people on your Facebook post, they're giving you tips like, hey, if you dress this way or if you talk this way, you won't have any issues. Like, where do you think that comes from? Like, why is that?
You know what? That's a great question. I feel like this is just my opinion. I don't know if,
Of
this is
course,
fact,
yeah,
of course,
yeah,
but I definitely think because I was like, the child of African immigrants, like a lot of the times, like the story that we're told is like, be grateful. You have so much opportunities. You're born here. You don't have an accent. You speak English well. You went to school. Like the doors are open for you, and they kind of like think like, don't think like there's anything holding you back. So they want you to ignore race and ignore class. And I'm like, no matter what you think, I'm still like,
right. You're
I'm
still
still
feeling it,
black.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still feeling it. They think that because we don't have an accent or because we didn't have to like go through all these hoops to immigrate here, that we have it easier. And in some ways we do have it easier than they did, but it's still not the same. We're still not accepted as like fully like as Americans or as Canadians.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, how are your parents like dealing with your stardom now? Like, did they ever think? Did you ever think that like Black Foodie would be on this huge platform?
One, thanks for all the praise. We're not stars yet. I appreciate that, but I'm
Look,
gonna speak it into existence.
I'm just gonna keep speaking it. Let me speak it, okay?
Okay. Let me hope until it comes true. But essentially they're actually incredibly supportive right now. At first they were like, what are you doing with your life? Like go get your master's,
Right.
stop this foolishness. Because for them too, that was like, why would you choose to do like a labor type job, like or something, like why not
Mm,
get something in the government? It's something they saw as secure, and I think a lot of African parents think that way. But right now they're seeing like, oh wait, she has this hustle, and like people, it speaks to other people like they're actually paying for it. You know what I mean? Like she can make money doing what she likes, and so I think now they're about it. They actually help me cook. They help me in so
that's
many
great.
ways.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
how was the transition of going from just doing? Well, actually, just tell me like how you started. Like, did it start from just that post, or did you like just start traveling and documenting, or just could you share with the process a little bit?
Yeah, so for sure. So I was very fortunate in that I have this huge East African family, and I always had connections, like I had connections at the airport and everything. So I was able to travel a lot more freely, even though I was on a pretty tight budget. So
Hmm.
I was able to do a lot of things like, just go and be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to New Orleans this weekend because my homie from college lived there and I have this hookup with the airlines, and I've always never been bougie. So I would take Spirit Airlines and I would go, um, on a mega bus and just do what I had to do to go to the places that I'd like. And I think people really enjoyed seeing like these different pieces of Black culture that were representative of like the diaspora, and that like, showcased, okay, this is what we're eating in Chicago, or this is what we're doing in Montreal or DC. And so anyways, I was doing that without sponsorship. I was doing that without like having like any backing, because I just did it on a budget.
Hmm.
And then eventually, like, like last year and this year, then I started, catching on to the game and realizing, oh wait, I can actually, work with a tourism board. I can work with an airlines, like I can, I'm already bringing traffic to this story and teaching people why they should travel to these places. I can actually like monetize this, too, not just from food brands. So
Right.
that's where I started to learn like, okay, there's, this connection between food and lifestyle. Um, but I don't know, I think I strayed from your original question.
No, no, that's
Basically,
perfect. Because
yeah,
that's what I wanted to pivot into.
yeah.
Basically monetizing your brand.
Hmm. Um, so I said, how did I get into that? Well, I have learned from my many mistakes. I have made lots of them.
Hmm.
And, you know, I think now with Black Foodie, the way that we're monetizing our brand right now definitely is a lot through brand deals, we reach the consumers that they're looking for,
Hmm.
but we do it in a way that's like natural and authentic. And we're also Black, like we're talking to people who we can relate to and who have some of the same tastes and interests as us. So we're able to like, use that and go to companies and say, hey, we can help you reach these people. But it is a challenge because for the most part, I'm I lived in both worlds. Like I would jump between the US and Canada. And in Canada, they were really reluctant to anything that was labeled Black. Like in that way, it was really difficult to get brand buy-in.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough. But now things have changed. It's crazy. Like, since George Floyd was murdered, unfortunately, like people started to wake up, um, or they were pushed into waking up. I think they were
Mm,
already like they knew it, but now there's this pressure from consumers too that like, hey, you have to do things differently. You have to actually have some diversity in your marketing plans. And that's when we started seeing an overflow of brands like reaching out to us and asking us, okay, like how can we do this? How can we do this better? And good thing is we were prepared. Like before anybody was paying us, we were doing this because we
right,
just
right.
truly believed in it. So we were ready when they called.
I got a question to ask
Yeah,
you. You don't have to answer it. You really
sure.
don't. Um,
Okay.
how do you feel about like the companies that are just using this as just say, oh, we're doing it. Look, hold on. You can't boycott us. Look, we got our person. You know what I mean? Without getting very
It's true.
descriptive, but like, how do you feel about that?
I I feel very strongly against it. Like I actually have written some stuff on LinkedIn about this, like about how brands, many of them are like talking about like supporting Black Lives Matter, and they're making like one-time donations to charities, but they actually don't work with Black contractors. They don't work with Black content creators. They don't feature any Black faces in their marketing campaigns. They don't have them in their offices. So I'm like, you don't actually support Black people living. Like you don't. You just want to look okay on the internet and make a one-time donation, because then you won't have to deal with Black people in their
Right.
actual real lives.
Yeah.
Like you don't think we cook or we eat or we have fun or we have kids or we go to the park, or what I mean, like just like enjoy life too.
No doubt. Whew,
There's joy
that
too
was a little
in being
powerful there.
Black, and I think that is oftentimes ignored. um yeah.
Whew, I had to close my book on that one. It's getting a little deep. Okay, cool. So wow.
Sorry, I'm
let me
hoping.
let me get back. Let me get back. Uh, so what other
Hmm.
let's soften the palate a little bit. What other passions do you have besides the food and
Okay.
everything? Did you hear me? Okay.
Yes, yeah, I did. I did. Sorry.
Uh,
I There's so many things that interest me. I am really, really passionate about travel. That's something that I've always loved to do. No matter how broke I was, I would find a way to have a trip or go somewhere. And I really feel like passionate about African people in the diaspora having a chance to connect with their roots. Like I do believe like everyone should be able to, like if you descended from, the continent, like be able to go visit. No matter where you go, like I really am passionate about people going back and seeing, where their ancestors come from. Because when you do that, you'll have this much greater understanding and appreciation for who you are and how great your people are. Like you'll see the history, you'll see the resources, like how beautiful the land is. So that's something I'm very passionate about. But just like on a day-to-day basis, like hobbies and things. Um, I just I'm pretty basic. I love comedy. I like to read, you know,
what's on
like to
Netflix
chill.
right now? What's on Netflix right now?
Netflix. Oh my God. Actually yesterday I watched this really awesome film. It was called The Nigerian Prince. It was really interesting. It's actually about this team. It was about this Nigerian American born and raised in America, and his mom sends him back home to Nigeria because he got in a fight. It's kind of
Mm,
like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but like
right.
backwards. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Great. Okay. Now, what does food equality look like for you? Is that even a phrase?
Food equality. Hmm. No, it's a good question. I feel like it could mean a number of things. I know that oftentimes, like people don't have access to fresh food and good food, like nourishing food, and oftentimes the people that don't have access are people who are racialized, Black people, brown people, immigrants. Like the communities they live in might not have grocery stores, or grocery stores that have fresh foods. Like maybe it's convenience stores. And um, I mean, I definitely believe everybody should have access to nourishing food,
Right.
and I think people should have access to their cultural foods too. Um, but I think all of that kind of like goes back. There's a really great speaker on this. His name is Paul Taylor. He lives in Toronto. But he just talks about how like people, make donations of food, but they don't understand poverty is the reason people don't have access to food. Like you just need to have a more fair environment. Like people need to be able to have like good paying jobs so that they can eat well. They don't necessarily need food banks all the time.
Got you.
Mhm.
You got some great answers. I might have some hard questions, but you got some great answers.
Thank you.
Now, of course, I've been following you for a while, and well, first of all, what's the thing you have going on your social media? I think it's like the cookout, or it's like cooking competitions or something.
Yeah, so Black Foodie had this a cooking competition. We had a challenge every week, or battle. We called it the Black Foodie Battle. During COVID, we noticed everybody was in their kitchen. People were creating dishes they might not have ever tried before, but since they had more time, or maybe they're trying to make their dollar stretch, they were doing more creative things with their food.
Hmm.
And so we wanted to celebrate this and do it in a fun way where people would learn about ingredients that come from Black food culture. And so that's where the Black Foodie Battle came in. And we had so many cool contestants, people from like Australia, from the UK, from the South, like there was somebody from Bahamas. It was amazing to see like how diverse Black folks around the world are and what they're cooking.
Nice.
Mhm.
So, what is the big thing about? And I don't even know if I might pronounce your name right, but what is Jollof?
Jollof Wars, yeah.
Like
I just made a
it's a
post about it
battle of
earlier.
this, right?
Yeah. So that was like one of the first things we did. Like this was in 2016, 2015. I hosted a Jollof Wars like food battle, and it was so much fun. Like people, Jollof it's a a rice, you know, that's cooked in a delicious tomato stew base. And across West Africa, you'll find different versions of this jollof. Like in Nigeria, it tends to be more spicy. In Ghana, I just think they do it right in Ghana. I really love Ghanaian jollof, like the spices that they use. And then like in Senegal, you'll find the original version where they have broken rice or fonio, and they have fish that is placed on top. It's really beautiful, and you eat it with your hands. You like, it's something that you share with friends, or you eat the Senegalese one with your hand, not the other ones. But essentially, every country thinks they have the best version, and so people,
Okay,
you know,
got you.
have a friendly war. Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
So, okay, all right, cool. And food, food. Just name some of the like, well, I guess some of the best places food has took you so far. I mean, I know you do a lot of traveling. Like, what are some of the best places or locations you've been to?
Um, that's a good question. I think I truly I love Montreal, and I encourage every American, once the borders open up and everything's okay, to go to
Right.
Montreal at least once, you know, because it's such a, you know, it is a, there's a huge Black community there. I don't think people know that, you know, outside of Canada. There's a huge Caribbean community, West Indian community, like Haitians, French speaking African folks. So you'll find like all these awesome Black owned restaurants that have foods that you might not have tried before, but are like so delicious. So I love Montreal, like some of the food options they have there. I really love Haitian food. If you ever go to my Instagram page, you'll see that I talk about it almost as much as I talk about Ethiopian food. So, yeah, I love Montreal, but I think, I don't know, I love the South too. Like I love Atlanta. I spent a lot of time there. I feel like I've had some of the best soul food in Atlanta, and I always look forward to like going back and being able to like order things on a menu that you'll never find here. Like you're not gonna find fried okra or like cornbread or,
Mm,
I don't know, mac and cheese maybe, but it's not gonna be the same. But there's certain dishes like in the South that you can get that you just won't find here.
right, right. So,
Mhm.
what's your dream soul food plate?
Oh, candied yams,
Ooh,
really
start off
good
sweet.
mac and cheese. Yeah, I like sweet, so and I feel like I'm gonna sound basic, but you know, I'd like a good fried chicken. Like I want some fried chicken,
All right, Ed, and
some mac and cheese.
that's
Yeah,
the end of
I
the
know.
podcast. I got to get you out
People
of
are
here.
gonna be like,
Time is up.
I feel you. Sorry, that's the call. But yeah, essentially, I like the stuff that I like. It's not gonna be something you haven't heard of. Like I like I like fried chicken. I like mac and cheese. I like candy yams, cornbread, all the
Mm,
good stuff.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
No doubt. You didn't ask, but I'm gonna give you mine. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna start with candy yams. Also,
Okay.
I gotta have some cornbread. I gotta have some turnip
Hmm.
greens. Put my greens on there.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna go with what's gonna be my meat? My meat will be. You know what? I gotta have some. No, I'm gonna leave that off. That's not on my dream plate. I don't know about my meat. I don't know. Cause like it ought to be, like I'm just thinking back to, you know what, I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna join the club too, because if I could have some of my grandma's fried chicken again, that
Mhm.
it was like no other chicken you ever had before. You know what I mean?
I
And
believe you.
those recipes you never get back. So I'm gonna join the club. I've never thought I would say that, but yeah, her fried chicken, not anybody's fried chicken.
I feel you on that. It's so much, it's so different when it's like a family member or, you know, like somebody's grandmother cooking for you. Nothing at a restaurant will ever compare,
Right.
ever. Yeah.
And it
I got,
could
I got,
go ahead.
I got, so I got lucky in having a like pretty diverse family. A lot of my aunts or uncles married African Americans. So like during Christmas and things like that in Chicago, I'd get to eat a lot of soul food, and like I felt like I got the good stuff. You know, it was so much better than the restaurants.
Right. That's great. So what are the some of the great things Black Foodie is doing right now?
Great question. A lot of things right now. We are something big that we actually haven't announced online yet, but we will soon. So I'll put it up here. Um, we're doing like a Black Foodie week in Toronto in late September, and we're really going to be celebrating Black food culture all week. We'll have restaurant listings. So some of the things that would be in a restaurant week, but we're going a bit deeper in having some really amazing panels, some really cool food demos, and we really want to kind of like wake Canada up to the fact that, you know, we have this amazing food culture. Like it's we want them to go beyond posting lists, because
Hmm.
that's been what's happening so far. It's like, hey, here's this list of Black owned businesses that I'd never go to, and I never go
Right.
into these neighborhoods, and I don't even know a Black person, but I'm going to post this link. I'm like, no, if you know, you need to go deeper, like actually understand what makes soul food, or understand why Ethiopian coffee is so unique, or, you know, like some of the things that are so different and interesting and amazing about our food culture. Because when you get people to understand that, then they're going to be willing to pay the price for it. They're going
Right.
to be going and seeking out these products and actually supporting Black businesses instead of just sharing lists, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So Eden, thank you so much. If did we cover everything?
You covered everything. Thank you so much for your energy. This is so much fun. I have a question for you,
Uh-oh.
if you don't mind. Yeah.
The fifth.
No, I want to know. I want to know about your like the Oyster Game. Like, what got you into it and everything.
So the Oyster Game. Um my dad taught me how to shuck oysters. Hold on, you want the short version or the long version?
Oh, the long version.
Okay, all right, cool. Um so my dad was a nationally ranked oyster shucker. He still no, well, he doesn't really compete anymore. I guess I
Mhm.
took that over. But yeah, he used to compete. I met my dad when I was in my 20s, and like soon as we met, he taught me how to shuck oysters. Pretty much like a year or so after, because I needed money, and I stayed on the Eastern Shore. That's where I'm from, the Eastern Shore of Virginia, and
Mhm.
it was a good way to make money. And then I just kind of fell in love with it. He took me to a bunch of oyster and bull roasts at like firehouses, and he saw I could handle myself, and I just kept shucking and got better at it. And then I deployed to Afghanistan in 2013, and when I came back, I wanted a stress-free job, so I started looking for oyster shucking jobs. And I was in Virginia Beach at the time, but like the people there, they didn't want to pay me any money. So I started looking for
Mhm.
jobs in DC, because before I left, I was selling crabs in DC at the wharf. And I was like, well, okay, I can go up there. And then I found a job, went up there, started working at Rappahannock and Union Market, and started an Instagram page and started getting some likes, some follows. And then I met Local Oyster in Baltimore. And then we started doing events together. And then I don't know. I think my first event, I'm not even gonna call it an event. These people I met at the bar, they wanted me to come to their house to shuck oysters. And basically not even shuck oysters. They wanted me to come there because I kind of told them I had been doing it all along, which I hadn't, but I knew I could do it. Um, so I was like, yeah, I can teach your friends, you and your friends, all about oysters and how to shuck them, and we just drink wine and have a good time. And that's what I did, and we had a great time actually. And from there, I was like, hold on, this. I think I could do this again. So I started telling more people that oh yeah, I do it all the time, and I started doing it all the time, and just speaking things into existence. Miss Worldwide Foodie. Um, and I oh, and then what 2015? That's when I went to the national competition. In my first year competing, I placed six, and that's six out of like I don't know. There had to be like 40 shuckers. So that's how I became a nationally ranked oyster shucker. And then I just kept going. I just played on that nationally ranked oyster shucker, even though like I never really got like locally like I guess media. it was just all me shooting it out, shooting it out, shooting it out. I'm always, I don't wait for people to tell my story. That's what I learned. You can't wait on people to tell your story. You got to tell your own story. So
That's true.
that's what I do. I tell everybody my story. And hopefully one of these days somebody start telling my, along the way I've had maybe 4 or 5 people, do like little short documentaries. And that's been fun. But yeah, that's the Oyster Ninja.
That's amazing. I love it. I love how you just like put yourself out there and then you like actually rose to the top. That takes confidence. And I am somebody who I'm not a big oyster fan. So I'm glad I met you. I know, because maybe you can change that.
Oh no. So okay, that's the second strike.
I know. I think I had actually in New Orleans, they're like, oh, we have these barbecue oysters, and then they had like fried ones, and I actually enjoyed those ones.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
those
raw
are
ones.
good.
Those were good.
It's honestly, it's like that's the gateway drug is fried oysters.
Yeah, that's true.
We
It
hope.
made me. It opened up my eyes to maybe I do like this.
Right.
So I think I need to give it another try and stuff.
Well,
And hopefully next,
when you decide to try, let me know, and hopefully I can make you a believer.
Yeah, for sure. And when you I'll hop on offline for this, but like for sure I'd love to have you like on Black Foodie, giving oyster tips and stuff.
You guys heard it here first. I'm all the way on the microphone.
Yeah. No, for real. I think it's awesome. We got to get you up there as the expert and like talking about oysters. And now that I'm thinking about it, wait, did you was there like a juice bar at Union?
Oh yeah, Goshen.
Is that what you're talking about?
Goshen was at Union Market.
Yeah. Was that, but that wasn't where you were at?
No, I worked at Union Market. I mean, I worked at Rappahannock, the oyster bar.
Rappahannock. Okay, got you. Okay, I'm still trying to place in my mind. I'm like, where did I see you? But yeah. Okay, awesome. We're gonna have you on Black Foodie. We're about to have some oyster sessions.
Boom.
And yeah.
I wish I had one of those little
like,
blow horns.
I love it. Yeah, we're gonna do it. So thank you so much for having me, and thank you to your audience for listening to my story. I appreciate you guys.
No doubt. Thank you so much. And until the next time, guys, you heard it here first. I'm gonna be on Black Foodie, and she's gonna make me get verified on Instagram. Just
you gotta do comedy. It is so tough. Oh my gosh, this is like a offline conversation, but I don't know how we got it. Legit, I just applied because we tried so many times.
What's that?
So just apply. No, to get verified, just apply.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know how we got it. I wish I had a plug. I'm trying to get verified on my personal platform, actually.
It's cool. I was just joking. It's all right.
No worries.
But thank you guys. Eden, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at blackfoodie.co. The website is also blackfoodie.co. And if you want to find me personally, you can follow me at Eden the Foodie or Eden the Foodie on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. I forgot TikTok. That's actually where I post a lot. I love TikTok. Yeah, TikTok is fun, man. If you guys aren't on it, it's so much fun.
Oh, I got one last question. Because I was Googling and YouTubing you. Are you DJ Eden also? What's up? Is that the same person?
No, that is so funny.
Hey,
I know exactly who you're talking about. No, there is actually another person named Eden Hagos. So to give you guys context, my name is so common in Ethiopia and Eritrea. It's like Jane Smith or like it's a very like it's a basic name. I'm gonna keep it real. So there's a lot of other Eden Hagoses. There's one that's a really talented DJ. There's another who's like a social activist. Like there's other people with the same name as me.
Yeah, I saw the social activist also. I was like, okay, that could work. But DJ, okay, all right.
I wish. No, I don't. I don't know nothing about that.
All right, cool. Let's end it here. Thank you guys for listening to the Oyster Ninja podcast. Go get you a Black Foodie t-shirt or something. I'm sure you can find it on the website. I'm going to order mine too. But until the next time.
Thank you.
Peace, love, and shuck out. I wish I had some
Thank
music to
you.
kind of end it, but I don't.
It's okay. Thank you so much. When you release it, let me